Good day, Davao de Oro. Good day, TV Eskwela viewers, especially to our grade 8 learners for special program in the arts, creative writing. I am your TV presenter, teacher Cristito Suan Jr. from Laak National High School, Laak South District, Division of Davao de Oro. Welcome to another episode of TV Eskwela. We are happy in bringing you with fun and exciting lesson and special program in the arts, creative writing. By the way, how are you students? Are you excited to learn something today? That's great. I'm sure you are now ready and willing to learn. Make sure that you are now in your comfortable place throughout the discussion and away from distractions as well. Students, please get your pen, notebook, and module for you to take down notes while I am discussing the lesson. After watching this episode, you are expected to first, identify the elements of short story. Second, appreciate the purpose of a short story's title. Students, our lesson for this episode is all about elements of short story. Before we will proceed with our discussion, let's have a short pre-test. Listen well, for I will read the questions twice only. You are given 3 seconds in answering every question. Write only the letter of the correct answer. Students, are you now ready? Let's go! Number 1. The problem of the plot is also known as. The problem of the plot is also known as A. Theme, B. Exposition, C. Characterization, and D. Conflict. If your answer is letter D, you are correct. Number 2. Only people can be characters in a story. Again, only people can be characters in a story. A. True, B. False. If your answer is letter B, you are correct. Number 3. What element of a short story might be described as the series of related events? Again, what element of a short story might be described as the series of related events? A. Plot, B. Theme, C. Conflict, D. Character. If your answer is letter A, you are correct. Number 4. It is the main idea in a short story. Again, it is the main idea in a short story. A. Plot, B. Theme, C. Setting, D. Character. If your answer is letter B, you are correct. Number 5. The main character of a story is called. Again, the main character of a story is called A. Protagonist, B. Minor characters, C. Antagonist, D. None of the choices. If your answer is letter A, you are correct. If you got perfect score, great job, students! For those who are not able to do so, better luck for the next activity. When you listen or read a short story, you can tell many things. A short story is a narrative text or a short work of fiction with few characters. Short story is a type of writing which involves a story told in a short amount of time or space. In like manner, short stories are often viewed as the opposite of novels. While some authors might write novels, others write short stories. What many people mistakenly believe is that short story is a mere few pages. While the name short does imply that it is not long, what one must take into account is the term short story was derived as the opposite of long novels produced throughout historical period of time. For clarity and understanding, let us be aware of the different elements of a short story. The different elements of short story are the following: plot, character, conflict, setting, and theme. The first element is plot. It is the framework or skeleton of the story. It refers to the sequence of events that are linked together. The following terms explain what happens in a plot. First, exposition or the introduction. This comes at the beginning of a story. Second, rising action or complication. It is the struggle grows stronger. Next, we have the climax, the most exciting part in the story. It is the turning point. Next one, we have falling action. Events move towards the end of the story. And the last one, we have the resolution or the denouement. The story is brought to an end. Try to look at and observe the diagram. We have here next element is the character. This refers to the person in a story that performs the action of the plot. Character is the mental, emotional, and social qualities to distinguish one entity from another. It could be people, animals, spirits, pieces of stuff, and other animated things. It answers the question, who? Character can be of persons, animals, or objects. Characterization is the process of revealing the personality of a character in a story. Character can be classified as dynamic and static character. Dynamic character changes as a result of the action of the story, while static character does not change much in the course of the story. We have also different types of character, namely, protagonist. He or she is the central or the main character of the story. The protagonist can either be good or evil. Next one, we have antagonist. The character or force that comes into conflict with the protagonist. And the last one, we have minor characters. These are characters who play minor role within the story. Next element, we have conflict. The conflict is the struggle between two or more characters in a short story. Conflicts normally occur when the protagonist struggles against an antagonist or opposing force. There are two general types of conflict, namely, external conflict. This emphasizes the conflict between the character and an outside force. Under external conflict, we have man versus man. A character struggles with another character. Normally, this is the clash between the protagonist and antagonist. Second one, we have man versus nature. A character struggles with a force of nature. It could be natural disaster, desolation, animal, and etc. Usually, the character is struggling to survive. Another one, we have man versus society. In this conflict, the character fight against the society in which they live in. The character fights against social traditions or rules. Could be fight for freedom, rights, and etc. The second type of conflict is internal conflict. An internal conflict is between a character and himself or herself. Character struggles with some personal quality that is causing trouble. Under internal conflict, we have man versus himself or herself. The character struggles takes place in his or her own mind. It has something to do with choices between right or wrong. Another element of a short story is setting. It refers to the time and place of the story. It answers the questions where and when. This is where and when a story takes place. Writers regularly employ imagery of scenery to give strong sense of setting. The setting helps the reader understand the mood and tone of the story. Did it happen on a farm with animals and fruit trees? Or was it in the big city with lots of people and tall buildings? You also need to remember when the story happened. Did it happen on a hot summer day? Or perhaps it happened on a chilly night before Christmas? Listen carefully to where and when the story happens. There are several purposes of setting. It gives background information. It provides conflict. It reveals many things about someone's character. It provides mood or atmosphere. And the last one, it paints images for the readers. The last element of a short story is the theme. It is the central idea of a story. The theme may be the author's belief about a topic or view of human nature. The theme entails that a short story has a secret message that can be decoded. It is the possible opinion of the author, and it entails the lesson that we can get from the story. When looking for the theme of a story, you may ask yourselves the following questions. Number 1, what important lesson or message that I learned from the story? Second, what does the story tell me to do or not to do? We have also common story themes. First one, be kind and helpful to others. Value through friendship and loyalty. Love your family. Always respect others. Be honest and do not deceive or pretend. Okay, those are the different elements of a short story. Students, this time I will ask you a question. You can answer either word, phrase, or even sentences. I will give you 5 seconds to think. The question is, what is or are the purpose or purposes of the short story's title? Awesome! The purpose of the short story title are the following. First, to indicate main idea. to create curiosity, and to inform readers about the content of the story. For better understanding about elements of short story, remember these three things. In listening or reading a short story, number 1, pay attention from the start to finish. Second, note the important details and avoid distractions. Third, note and remember details that can help you retell the story or answer the question about it. Now, let's check your understanding. I will read the statement twice only. Write only the letter of the correct answer. Number 1. It is the time and location in which the story takes place. Again, it is the time and location in which the story takes place. A. Setting. B. Plot. The correct answer is letter B. Plot. Number 2. It serves as the framework or skeleton of the story. Again, it serves as the framework or skeleton of the story. A. Plot. B. Theme. The correct answer is letter A. Plot. Number 3. What type of character does not change? Again, what type of character does not change? A. Dynamic. B. Static. The correct answer is letter B. Static. Number 4. The most exciting part of the story is called. Again, the most exciting part of the story is called. A. Conflict. B. Climax. The correct answer is letter B. Climax. Number 5. The underlying meaning or main idea of a story is called. Again, the underlying meaning or main idea of a story is called. A. Climax. B. Theme. The correct answer is letter B. Theme. Number 6. It is a conflict in which the character struggles with another character. Again, it is a conflict in which the character struggles with another character. A. Man versus man. B. Man versus himself or herself. The correct answer is letter A. Man versus man. Number 7. He or she is the central or main character of the story. Again, he or she is the central or the main character of the story. A. Antagonist. B. Protagonist. The correct answer is letter B. Protagonist. Number 8. It is the struggle between two or more characters in a short story. Again, it is the struggle between two or more characters in a short story. A. Setting. B. Conflict. The correct answer is letter B. Conflict. Number 9. It is the process of revealing the personality of a character in a story. Again, it is the process of revealing the personality of a character in a story. A. Characterization. B. Communication. The correct answer is letter A. Characterization. Number 10. It helps the reader understand the mood and tone of the story. Again, it helps the reader understand the mood and tone of the story. A. Setting. B. Conflict. The correct answer is letter A. Setting. Great job, students! That would be all for our discussion for this episode. I hope that you were able to grasp all those information that I have shared to you. If you have some questions or clarifications, contact immediately your respective subject teachers. Thank you for watching and listening. I hope that you enjoyed as you watched and listened on the air. Again, I am Teacher Cristito Salmoren Suan Jr. from Laak National High School, Laak South District, saying, stay safe and follow health protocols. Always remember, dito sa TV Eskwela, sa pag-aaral, sama-sama. Bye-bye!